There's always a joker. I don't know what my hair looks like. Let's see, what does it look like? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with it. You have to just deal with the fact that I don't know how to deal with my hair, okay? Anyway. There's always a joker in the pack. There's always a lonely clown, right? And there's a jester, just a fool, as foolish as he can be. The joker is me, right? Like, I can watch Captain Kim 1,000 fucking times. I just restarted it again last night. I'm like, there's only so many episodes. I have to just keep watching them over and over and live like it's 2004, Sydney, Australia. Okay? 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 And there is just a fool. Fucking love Gina Riley so much. It's like, why does she have to disappear? She just doesn't exist anymore. Oh, my dream, Gina, if you're watching. I'm making a fish fillet, by the way. A double patty fish fillet for breakfast. So what? I mean, it's like almost noon, but it's breakfast. I'm not hungry for breakfast food today. I'm eating the entire thing, by the way. My new wife, HRH, is like, don't eat the bottom bun and cut off the tartar sauce. Like, you're fat. She is my sister times a million. I don't know. She's like, I wouldn't say times a million. I feel like they're on the same level of each other of like no one believes me when I like talk about how crazy my sister is. Like, I feel like people think I'm like making up this caricature. And I'm not. That's how my sister talks. It's like, why don't you brush your fucking hair, you dumb bitch? Like, that's exactly... Watching her videos is like a sound machine. I'm like, oh, it's like ocean waves. Like, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I missed my sister so much. I'm like, oh yeah, that's... I look for her and my mom in everyone. I'm like, oh, that's why I go after, like, bimbos and bitches. Those are my favorite people. Because my mom is a bimbo and my sister is a bitch. There, Psychology 101. And they're just a fool. What was I saying? Gina Riley, I want to write a movie where she plays my, like, aunt or, like, sister or something. Oh, I love her so much. And she's, and I can't get enough, like, I feel like I went down a rabbit hole of, like, trying to find DVDs of, like, other shows she was in. Like, it's so hard. Like, there is, like, one DVD place. First of all, who even owns or watches DVD? Like, who has a DVD player? Not me. But I would buy one. When I tell you I was ready to spend hundreds of dollars per DVD, it's like you literally have to order it from, like, fucking India. And it's not like a normal website where you work. If you try to, like, find anything else she's been in, it's like these obscure Australian comedy shows from the 90s, and, like, they only exist on DVD from India, from, like, a website where you have to, like, email them and be like, can I please get, like, you have to, like, request it, and then they, like, don't get back to you. DVD Planet, what is up? Like, I was willing to give you hundreds per DVD. I'm like, I will... There's nowhere, like, nobody has uploaded it to the internet. I was like, I will put it on Pirate Bay. Like, we should all have the genius that is Gina Riley. My aunt is a hater, and she thinks Jane Turner is where it's at. Whatever, agree to disagree. I get it, she's more subtle. Just a fool. Alright, so, news. I am so excited. Last night I saw a post. First of all, I was just talking the other day about this. I was like, okay, like, I love Fortune Feimster. Like, she is, like, so funny, and, like, there's so few things that I have watched multiple times, like Captain Kim now being one of them, but, like, especially in the age of Netflix, where like you just have the option to watch fucking anything you want all the time. When I tell you I've watched Sweet and Salty, like it feels like hundreds of times, maybe 10 times now. I watched it again last night. It's never not funny. Like there's so few like stand-ups even where I'm like, I have to rewatch that. Like I have to. It is so good. And she's so good, and every time she goes on tour, it's like to all these boat-on towns where, I get it, that's where, I don't, not feel like, that's where your fan base is, but it's like, I get it. It's like the Midwest has nothing, let them have this, you know, like, I understand. And it's just, New Orleans gets passed over on a lot of people's tours for whatever reason. I don't, you know, whether the taxes are too high, the city is like too uninterested in like going to stuff. I think I've said this before, like New Orleans, it's just hard to like, it's hard to draw a crowd because there's like always so much going on that it's like, and there's a gesture. Anyway, so I like had given up hope that Fortune would ever come here. Because every time she posts, like, oh, I'm going on tour, I added new tour dates. It's like 14 shows in Wisconsin, and like, you know, which again, I get it. How long does romaine last? I'm like trying to think of how long I've had this. I feel like if I'm only using it as a garnish, it's not that big of a deal. Maybe it is. I don't know. It seems fresh. Again, I keep my my thing really cold. My cat found a face mask and is walking around with it in his mouth. My cat is like a dog. He's so funny. Anyway, bitch. She posted last night, or I don't know, I saw the post last night, and there was a New Orleans date on it. There were two. Early show, already sold out, obviously. Late show, starts at 10 p.m. Very late for me. I am hella in bed at that point. But I'm very excited. I was like, do I want electricity this month, or do I want to go see Fortune feimster? So I got tickets. And there was a jester, just a fool. Fingers a hand and I see the joker is me. The joker is me. Anyway. I'm very excited. For a second I was like, oh, it's not till January, so, which is good and bad. Good in the sense that like, January is very depressing. It's late January, it's like the worst weather, and I know people from the north will be like, it's only 40 degrees there, but it's like, our 40 is like your negative 80. Like, it's truly a bone-chilling cold. People, every time someone has come here from like another state, oh, it's just snowing, they're like, oh, it's like horrible here. Like, they're like, oh, this is really bad. Like, yeah, no, it's like, it is a wet cold. Nobody wants to go out. I have a December birthday, and it's like, it feels like a chore to have to celebrate my birthday. It's like, I don't even, like, I hate, like, I just want to be in my bed. Like, I just want to hibernate for months. Winter is also just such a psycho time because you don't leave the house as much. And, like, it gets darker earlier, so your emotions are always accelerated. When you're mad, you're really mad. When you're sad, you're really fucking sad, you know? So, in one sense, it's good because it's like, oh, that's... We're gonna be good and depressed by the end of January. We're going to need a little pick-me-up. So that's very exciting. But also, like, it sucks because we're gonna have to leave the house and be out of the house at like 10 o'clock at night. And like at midnight. I mean, it is on a Saturday though, so like that's really great because taking my sister, who has like a normal person job, and that's perfect because, you know, if it were like on a Tuesday, she'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm not going out of the house at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. But it's on a Saturday, and at first I was like, who am I gonna bring? I'm so excited. I'm start putting the camera here because the light is right here. I'll try it next time. I'll think about it. So, the Joker is me. Anyway, I was like, who am I gonna take? I mean, at first I was like, maybe I'll just wait till the time comes closer. Maybe I'll meet the love of my life and be like, are you a fortune feimster fan? Because you fucking better be, dog, if you're gonna be the love of my goddamn life. But I didn't want to, like, I was like, I don't want to, not know until that, you know, I didn't want to take the chance. My sister, you know how, like, you have those siblings where you have a sibling relationship where, like, the only thing you have in common is, like, a TV show you watch together? That's us. Like, we watched Chelsea Lately when we were younger together, when we were younger, in our 20s. And, like, the Bad Girls Club. And, like, I'm like, we need a new show to, like, talk about, or something. I'm like, I don't know anything about her anymore because we don't watch TV together anymore. Anyway, I was like, I texted her last night. I was like, "You're weird. Do you like fortune feimster?" And because I didn't know she even liked her enough. You know, I was like, is she even gonna like give a shit? And she was like, yeah, I like her. She reminds me of you. And I was like, oh my god, that's my favorite thing. It was like, that's the highest compliment I've ever been paid. She's a lot nicer than me, Fortune, that is, not Crystal. But Fortune is like a much sweeter personality. Anyway, I'm very excited. This is like, oh, I have something to live for. Every time I like make a plan for something in advance, like whether it's a concert or show or whatever, I'm like, hell yeah, I have something to live for in the meantime. So I'm like, okay, January, like I have 10 months to live, and then I have to find another reason to live after that. I got a reason to live, y'all. Hold on. Let me add some cheese to this and just toast it real quick. So, hold on. And there was a Chester. So, yeah, she reminds me of you. I'm like, oh my god. I know you probably meant that as a gift, but I take it as the highest compliment, y'all. So, she's going with me. I was like, I got enough tickets. Meanwhile, I like owe her money. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay my bills this month, but I'm going to see Fortune in January, y'all. I'm so excited. And it also is like, I've needed like some kind of motivation to, not that I need the motivation. Like, I've been writing new material. I'm like, should I get back into comedy? Is she gonna have a local opener? Should I, like, will I make it in time? If I start now, will I be, like, successful enough in a few months to, like, not that I want to open for her, but I do feel like I need to see a show or something, or feel like, I mean, I have new material I'm gonna try out. Is that? No. Anyway. But there's like cracks. I mean, there is cracks in the wall, in like the ceiling where the rain was coming in. It's not anymore. Oh. There's a Chester. Ooh. And there's a hand and I feel the Joker is me. The Joker is me. Okay, this is gonna be so sloppy and nasty. I thought I was gonna put a tomato on it, but I don't think so. Maybe I will. Anyway, it's called double stack, bitch. It's called deluxe, bitch. The Joker is me. I think I meant to heat the bun up. Oh well. Sometimes I like the bun heated, and other times, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I will with tomato. The Joker is here. I just slow cooked some chicken today. Oh! What am I doing? The Joker Gina Riley suddenly went on tour. Could you imagine? Oh my god, she came out of hibernation and was like, alright. Do I want a sody? Yeah. Don't you go with me? Oh no! I don't have any cold sodies! I'm gonna have to put a sody on ice. Okay, so what am I saying? Fortune Feimster, so excited. Especially excited because I love like all of her material. I'm excited to see her new material. I haven't been excited about like a comedy special in so long. Like, when I tell you, I want to say, I mean, I also feel like I just haven't been into comedy for so long, but it's like, I have new stuff where I think it's funny. I'm a big believer in like, if you think it's funny, it's funny. Like, I think everybody, it's like, if you think something is funny, it's funny. You shouldn't fucking give a fuck if nobody else in the room thinks it's funny. That just means it's not their humor. Somebody else will think it's funny. And like, I feel like my mom is a really good example of this. Like, you cannot tell her she's not funny. Like, she lives in her own world and she makes herself laugh, and that's all that matters. Like, she doesn't care if you think it's funny. She cracks herself up, and I think that's like the way to live your life. Is like, if you can crack yourself up, that's all you need. So I'm a big believer in like, you know, get over it, you're funny. If it's funny to you, it's going to be funny to somebody else. You know, it might not be funny to everybody in the room. It might not be funny to anybody in the room. You're just in the wrong room, you know? It's like, that's one room of people. It could like, I mean, and the room is always different. It's like, what am I going to use to cut this? Ah! The Joker is me. I just want like a tiny sliver of tomato. So, whatever, I have, it's such a fucking tower of fish right now. The Joker, gotta smush it down, is me. Anyway, I'm trying to think of like the last time I really was like into a comedy special. I saw Jesus is Magic in theaters when it came out. 07-ish? 06, 07. I had just moved to Philly after Katrina. And I don't know, I keep like trying to think, I'm like, how did I even find Sarah Silverman? I knew, like, I was into her way before. I'd be like, into her way before everyone, but like, I somehow figured out who she was before she like got poppin'. So like, when when her special came out in theaters, I was like #1 in the theater. Memorized it entirely. I just like was obsessed with it. I was just thinking the other day, I was like, I need to watch that again, because every now and then I'm like, I need to refresh my memory of. That was probably the one that I was like, I should just like, I think I was so good at just like memorizing other people's bits that I was like, I should just write my own, right? Like, what the fuck? So, there was a Jim Gaffigan special earlier, like when I was in high school, that I really loved. Like, there's a few that I can like look back on and remember, like I would know every word, every cadence. Like, that's how I realized I was like, just from like being able to mimic. I'm like, oh, if I like wrote my own and figured out the cadence and all of that, like I could just perform my own shit. I thought I was gonna go tomorrow. I still might, but I know myself, and I'm like, it's gonna be raining. I'm not gonna feel like walking down there. But I do think I have a good new set and a good some good new material. That I'm like, I should just try, like, I should just give, like, and like every time, one of my local comedy friends, my local comic friends, every time I see her, I'm like, I'm totally gonna go next week. I'm like, yeah, I'm totally gonna get back into it. And then I never do. But she gave me, like, I mean, there is better incentive now, I feel like, in the sense that, like, it's like, I've been going to sleep early. It's like, comedy is a young man's game. You have to, like, stay awake. And, like, it's like, if you don't really drink and you don't really, like, participate in bar culture, it's very boring. I don't think you realize how slow the time passes when you're in a bar and you're sober and you're just like, alright, when's this gonna be over? Maybe that's a shitty attitude, but, like, I get tired and cranky very fast. And it used to be like, and most places are probably still like this, but if you put your name on the list, they reorder it. This gal happens to get put last on many a list. And this is just a conspiracy theory, but they know I will fucking leave. They know I'll get tired, and if they wait me out, they'll be like, well, this bitch is gonna go if we just put her at the end of the list. Also, it's like, if you're at the end of the list, you're literally performing for, like, the bartender who wants to leave. Like, that guy wants to fucking go home, and you're, like, in a room with, like, 2 other people. Everyone has gone home. All of the other comics have gone home. The audience has left. Everyone's tired. And then you go up with your little ho-dunk dance. It's just, and also a lot of open mics are too long. It's like, you need to have a cap, you know? Like, cap it at 10 people. Or something. It's like, does every fucking comic in the world have to go on? Anyway, the one that I usually go to, when I do go, you know what I'm saying, they don't reorder the list anymore, and it's new people that do it. Because I was like, I don't have, like, you know, I don't ever, like, it's, like, always such a bummer, because I'll go, and I'll, like, first there, put my name on the list, and then it's like, alright, number 57, okay, like, bitch. No! Like, I need to go home. So, apparently now it's like just first come, first serve. So, if you show up early, you put your name on the list, you just go in the order. So, that makes me feel more like, oh, okay. Like, that's less, like, that makes me, like, feel more apt to do it. I really want to eat this fish sandwich. I don't know why I'm still talking to you. I'm just really excited about Fortune Pizza. I just want to tell you about that. Were you on the counter just now, bro? I like didn't even notice that. What a pig. I love him. Anyway, so I'm like, now that I know that I don't have to like necessarily wait for like whatever person is hosting that night to like decide if they like me or not, to put me like, you know, whatever number, you know, I just feel like I'm also, like, comedy is just, it's rough. It's like, I don't know, I felt like, I was like, I don't feel like I have to be hazed in for the rest of my fucking life, but it feels like I'm like, I'm so tired of having to, like, start from the bottom every time I, like, disappear and come back. It's just like, bitch, like, and I was really spoiled when I had my own theater. I was like, you know, it's just so much easier to run shit. I feel like I have a good eye for, like, who is good at their craft and, like, who, you know, and how to, even, like, not that I'm against reordering the list. I think it's smart to reorder a list when it comes to, like, you want somebody to open the show with a bang, you know, like, you want somebody to come up and be really good in the beginning, and you want whatever, but it's just like, it sucks if you're like in the crowd and you're not trying to stay there till like 12 o'clock at night just to like do like 4 minutes and get the light at 2 minutes or whatever. There's always like too many politics in comedy that has like made me like, I feel like, and a lot of people, it's not just me, I notice a lot of people have just jumped out over the years because it's just exhausting. It's like, you know, it's this like game of, I've never seen Game of Thrones. I was gonna say a game of assholes or a Game of Thrones with assholes. And it's like, it doesn't matter how good you are. I don't know. It's just, it's like you have to put in a lot of time and work. And it's like, I just want to show up, do my set, and leave. And I technically haven't gotten to that point, I guess. I mean, whatever. But I think, also, I take it super seriously. Not that other people don't, but like, somebody told me the other day, I was like, I'll wake up at 7 in the morning and practice all day, like, until 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and like, I'm like really like obsessive about it. And they were like, oh, I don't practice like that at all. And most people don't. Like, most people are just like, it's not that serious. But me, for whatever reason, I'm like training like I'm going to the fucking Apollo. Like, no, it is that serious. I'm Rocky. Whatever. So I might go back to it. Knowing that I'm going to go see Fortune, not that I truly think I'm going to open for her. That was a yoke. Calm down. I don't think that I'm going to open for her, but I do feel like, oh, that's something that makes me want to return to the scene in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, same with like Gina Riley. Like, I feel like I just stopped liking comedy for a long time. I was like over it. Nothing, it's like, nothing, you just go through phases where like nothing's really making you laugh, and like, Gina Riley is so fucking funny. And that's also how I got into comedy to begin with. I was like, nothing is making me laugh. I am so fucking dead inside. And I was truly just suicidal. I was like, I need to make comedy for people who are so dead inside. They have no other way. Like, nothing is funny to them. And nothing is making them laugh. Like, that is the kind of, like, I need to dig in deep. Find what is funny in this, like, horrendous world of nonstop anguish. Right? Fortune feimster. I fucking will watch that 400 times. I like want to watch it again right now. I just saw it like 12 hours ago. Anyway, I'm going to see Fortune feimster. I'm very excited. Literally all through COVID, I just watched all of her lives, like, all the time. I was like, this is heaven. Like, are you kidding me? So, I'm very excited. Oh, I do have another Truly. Last night I was like, just one more Truly. And I thought I was out, but there's one in there. Truly is so insidious. It's like, oh my god, am I drinking a LaCroix? Like 10 of them later, you're like, I'm wasted. This is crazy. It is such a light little buzz, though, I feel like. And it's so tasty that it's like you forget you're drinking alcohol. I'm like, oh, fruit punch. This is delicious. It tastes like summer. Summer camp in the 90s. It does, and it's delicious. And lately, I love sour candy. I have like the palate of a 10-year-old lately. So, so many things to update you on. Maybe I'll be back when I start slow cooking my chicken. I have to prepare it first. This is so annoying that I don't have a cold Diet Coke. But I'm not gonna let that make me, set me back. Let's see. Jump Robin! This is my breakfast. Get over it. Chicken is for dinner. Fish sandwich is for lunch. I don't know how I got into fish sandwiches, but I'm like addicted to them now. I think maybe, when you're moving, I think somebody else pointed this out. It's like, because my mom was moving in April, and then I was moving in May. And when you're moving, you can't just like cook for yourself. You have to like, and you're fucking starving all the time because you're moving. It's a lot of labor. And you eat a lot of McDonald's when you're moving. And it's like the least, the least disgusting thing at McDonald's. I mean, I love McDonald's. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying the least heavy one is the fish fillet. It's like always delicious, always a fun choice. What are you meowing about? What is he saying to me? He's like, shut up, bitch. Alright. The Joker is me. Alright. It was fun knowing you. I'm gonna take my fish sandwich. My internet has not been working on my TV, so I've been watching a lot of Jersey Shore on my computer with terrible sound. But that's how committed I am. I love it. I love Dina. I love Angelina. I don't love Angelina. I love the situation. I'll get into everything I love about Jersey Shore on the next episode of What the Fuck Is This Show Called? Anyway, farewell. I love you. Bye.